Hello my friends, and welcome back to my channel for another tarot pick a card reading. In today's reading we are going to be diving into how have you impacted them. So this can be any person in any relationship, any stage of a relationship. The idea here is to really pull into some higher messages, higher perspectives about the connection that you're in, and just seeing what your influence was in the situation, for better or for worse. So that being said though, get yourself into a receptive mode so you can pick your card. And if you need to know how to do that, you can check out my link below as always on how to pick a card using your intuition. I have a video on that. But yeah, we have our pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. I'll see you at your timestamps. Alrighty, group 1, let's dive into your tarot pick a card reading all about how have you impacted them. So as always, I have our oracle card to kind of get us started, which yours is the sun. Keep your face to the sun and you will never see the shadows. And then your tarot cards that we start off with are the 9 of Pentacles, the 2 of Cups, the 7 of Swords. Ooh, interesting. Okay. And then the Ace of Wands. Wow. Okay. So it's funny because we have the keep your face to the sun, and I was feeling the sense of like lift yourself up, something like that. So I feel like this is you impacting them to have a better self-esteem, for one. With the sun, that energy always kind of pulls through, but this is about looking at how you're connecting with people, and feeling good enough in certain situations and feeling stabilized on your own, specifically when you're connecting with people. I think this woke this person up, this being like your relationship, your connection. The whole time I feel like this was something for them. It was like building blocks is what I want to say. It was something for them to really like take in a substantial kind of way, information about their confidence, how to have confidence, like I said, how to stand on your own. There's certain things like that this person maybe wasn't great at when it came to relationships. I feel like they could have fronted a certain way in relationships in the past, but there was something with you with this 2 of Cups here where it was like they couldn't hide from their feelings here. Like, when you find someone that you really mesh with, you show up in a way that kind of like can trigger them. It's like showing it, like yin and yang, basically. It's like showing them the other side of the coin. In this is like the 7th house in astrology opposing the 1st house of self. Like there's some part of you that feels awakened, and like I said, that wakes up these feelings or wounds about not feeling good enough, or also the opposite of feeling really good enough, and like you're like able to have the confidence to go forward and like have some type of like self-esteem. Like I said, I feel like in some ways this could have been somewhat egoic though for this person. With the 7 of Swords here too, I feel like at times, this makes me feel like someone that you built up so much that they felt okay alone, or something like that, or they felt like they could stand on their own and stand up for stuff. But maybe with the 7 of Swords here, this person could have been someone that, since they struggled with self-esteem, they basically took your like the skills that you might have shown them over time. They might have taken that and used it in kind of a gluttonous way, or a greedy way, a selfish way that could have thwarted like the dynamic somehow, or something. Like they could have just not been playing fair is what I want to say with the 7 of Swords here. And it's funny because we have the Ace of Wands, but it's all coming from this place of zest. It's like, yeah, I can do whatever I want because I'm great. It's like there's something here with that. And I feel like maybe that's both of you guys actually in this connection. I feel like you guys have equally impacted each other in this way, where you guys like give each other oomph and pizzazz and make you, it's like feels good to be independent basically and to do whatever you want to. Like both of you guys might have really impacted each other's individuality complexes. And like I said, that's like a wound in a sense of like hyper individualization. But then we also have the opposite of like being like really independent, being a good leader, like going after what you want. But so yeah, I mean, I don't know, I feel like in a lot of ways this can kind of differ for different situations and whatnot, or maybe different points in this situation. But you really infected is funny. I was gonna say you infected this person's confidence. So there's something about maybe the way that you recognized them or appreciated them, or this makes me feel like kind of like looking at a wall of trophies or something like that, or a wall of art, you know, like there was something that you maybe like, I don't know, they felt like you collected them basically, and like you were somebody that they were like, ta-da, like this is a beautiful, wonderful, you know, connection that I've had, or was something like that. Like I feel like this is how this person felt, and this person really kind of liked the idea of being a trophy. With the sun here as well, I think it helped them realize that they like to be just constantly admired all the time, which is like what I said about the whole ego thing. This person may have gotten a little gluttonous, and it may have sought out you know, this kind of trophy feeling here. Maybe with I don't know, like they sought out more people or something like that. Like I feel like it impacted them, like I said, in a positive and a negative way. So at one point they were able to stand strong on their own and they felt like really secure, but then there's a part of them that is like a little bit jaded in how they're moving, because I think they have such personal motives about a specific feeling that they're new to that they can get from other people. Okay, so I'm happy I got that out. Let me like clarify with some more tarot cards here. Oh my god, I split the deck and we have the King of Pentacles with the Moon. Exactly, this is like the secret motivational feeling of greed that this person has, that they really maybe weren't that aware of. Maybe they didn't realize they could possess such power, is kind of what I'm getting. It doesn't feel like this person's like overall malicious. I just feel like this Seven of Swords here is a lot more about like, you know, it's funny because it makes me think of like kids are like oftentimes manipulative. Like child energy is very manipulative, but it's because they don't know like how to get what they want, or like how to like assert themselves to get what they want, or like lay down a law or something like that. So this is kind of that energy where it's like kind of just not knowing necessarily, but also, I mean, there is like a little bit of like they do know. So it's kind of hard to say, but there's, you know, but that's the thing, that the emotional intelligence is not here yet. That's what is really important, because the Seven of Swords, this is them becoming a little bit more aware of the fact that they might be doing something that or like taking information in a way that might not be like beneficial. Like they're kind of aware maybe that they're like getting an ego fill from you, that you've impacted them in a way that's good for their ego, at least in their eyes. And you know, the Nine of Pentacles is feeling like they're really like moving with things, and like I said, they're really proud of things, and you've impacted them feeling kind of like they're have some sort of like baseline success for themselves, you know. But we do have like the Ace of Wands and the Cups kind of in early stages. I mean, the Ace of Wands is literally the first ace, and then the Two of Cups is the second. So for the Cups, which is the emotional energy, and I think I just said whatever, I don't know, the Wands anyways, it has to do with like how your actions speak. So the fact that this person's emotions and actions seem to be on a different wavelength from you know, their mental space and whatnot, that shows that kind of immaturity of child, where it's like, yeah, you may know better, but like you don't know better in a sense of like you don't know the importance to do better when it's kind of like in relation to other people. So that's what I'm trying to get out there. So we have the Two of Wands, which exactly, this kind of goes back to what I was saying about like looking at the options that you might have now that you, like this person, I feel like you impacted their self-worth to, like I said, they feel like they have some kind of accomplishment under their bag. Maybe this person like was really interested in you and they finally got you in some capacity, and then they're like, okay, wow, what else could I get? Or you know, there could be a situation where you guys are no longer together or something like that, so they're looking for other options so they don't feel like they lost out in any capacity there either. It's funny though, because I feel like you've impacted their self-worth in that regard of like positive and negative, where it's like, yeah, I can get anybody, but then they're like kind of sad because they're like, but why didn't I like get them, or like something like that. I don't know. We have the Hanged Man. Exactly. You impacted the relationship somehow. They had some sort of realization. I feel like they were in a really dormant stage of their life when it came to connections. Like I said, maybe they were a little emotionally immature, or like didn't really go after things that much with their relationships. But with a hangman here, there's something turned on its head basically, and they were like, oh, wait a second, like there was some like almost realization that they want to put things into action. They want to speak on certain things, like maybe that they were like struggling to speak on their emotions or put their emotions into action before. I don't know, there's something coming through with that. But then we have the 10 of Swords. Interesting, with that 7 of Swords. Yeah, I feel like this person, you've impacted this person to the point where they have to be more genuine, and they literally can't like run away from this part of them that like knows that their ego is like way too satisfied in a situation. And like it's satisfied in the sense of when, like I said, it's starting to hurt other people. It's like starting to affect other people. I don't know. Part of me I feel like you treated this person how a lot of the times they have treated other people. So you know, take that for how it resonates for their situation. But I feel like you did give this person kind of a taste of their own medicine. That was that mirroring quality that we picked up earlier. Okay, and then we have the 7 of Wands. Wow. Let me clarify this really quick. So clarify the 7 of Wands for me. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so this person, I feel like you really impacted their drive, maybe because they're realizing that you are not going to wait forever for them to like figure things out. Like, or I feel like this person took a lot from you. They like really, like I said, were gluttonous, greedy. They had a lot of emotion when it came to you, but like kind of utilized the emotion you had towards them, and like almost like sat quiet, like the hangman here, about their emotion and connection to you. And it's funny because however this kind of worked out, where you know, one and both of you were led astray kind of from the situation because it was like a karmic pattern sort of mental game that you were playing to avoid the emotions. I feel like it's brought them into this realization of how to act and where to act. And like I feel like this person has become kind of defensive because I think part of how you impacted them was they become jealous. They realize that there's certain things that they do because they try to avoid the fact that they are a really jealous person. And like part of that to me is like the sun energy of, like it says, keep your face to the sun and you will never see the shadows. This person does not want to face their shadows. They do not want to face the part of them that is envious and jealous and, you know, is manipulative and does have these harsh tendencies and stuff like that, you know, that is immature. They don't want to face that. And instead, you know, like I said, maybe in past situations, they were always the one that were like third party situation or something like that. Like where it was like, they kept a distraction basically is what a third party situation is, whether that is like a romantic distraction or whatever. Like it could be work, it could be their family, their friends, like just partying in general. But there's something about this person that I feel like a big impact that you've had on them was that they realize that they like don't want to do that distraction thing anymore. Like but then I don't know, it's funny because I feel like part of this person, how they're coping with it now is like with distractions. So there's a part of them that is like really defensive though, I guess, about this jealous side to them, and it was not really ready to deal with it yet. Let me clarify the 10 of Swords here. Yeah, we have the Magician. That's the doing something about it. And then we have the Queen of Cups. You know, I feel like you impacted them, yeah, like I said, to like figure something out about themselves, like maybe parent themselves in a way. That's also sun energy too. That is kind of like a parental authority. So there's something here where I feel like this person maybe realized that the negative ways that they were interacting were more a reflection of some like negative qualities that they learned from their parents or something like that. I feel like I said, you really impacted this person on a psychological level where they're actually able to see their qualities and immature behaviors in a way that they're like not necessarily proud of, but they're like aware of now. So that's good. Let's see the Hanged Man. Yeah, the King of Wands. Clarify the Hanged Man, please. Clarify the Hanged Man. That was so soft. 9 of Pentacles again. Okay, yeah. You know, I feel like, yeah, you impacted this person by coming in as their equal and opposite. You know, I feel like you were somebody that they were not expecting to come into their life. And it's because you showed them themselves and you showed them what impact their own feelings and actions and whatever, like thought patterns, the games that they play have on another person. And it's not like you were super malicious about this. I feel like if anything, you really try to just stand your ground and like hold your confidence and esteem and your worth and value all in the same area. Like you kept your standards and morals where they were and where you wanted them to be. And I feel like this person is very much like, damn, you know, I've never met somebody that stood their ground like I stand my ground kind of thing. So I feel like that could have caused conflict here. It could have caused you guys to feel, I'm hearing contingency, so I don't even know what that means in this context, but it's just kind of funny though, because I feel like you guys are both very emotional towards each other. And that's a big impact here, is that it's really like you guys are interesting to each other, but there's something about this relationship that has just impacted, like, you know, well, what else can I have is kind of the question here, because maybe it's like not knowing how another person's gonna fit in to your life. Yeah, we have the Emperor. It's funny because the Emperor, you know, when they're conquering a bunch of things, there does get this point where you have to like really look within and be like, well, I have all these accomplishments under my belt, but now what kind of thing? Yeah, exactly. The King of Pentacles again. Back of the deck is the Ace of Swords, and I did see the Tower. What was that? No, that was the High Priestess. Oh, there's the Tower. Okay, yeah, so I was gonna say there's something about turning within and looking at what you really want that's coming out here. So I feel like you impacted this person in the sense of maybe they were really stuck in their ways, and you know, they were really trying to just keep a trophy around and like have this feeling of like another, I don't know, it's like a tally mark or something like that. And I feel like you changed this around for this person and you showed them how, you know, you can have it all, but you still might not got it for some people. And I think that's something this person's not used to, or doesn't like to look at about themselves. But I feel like you kind of woke them up in a way that's honestly gonna overall benefit their life. Like, I don't think they were treating people very accordingly, especially with their feelings. I think they were okay with just having people spill out their beans to them. So it's very interesting. I think this person would say too that you have impacted their, I don't know, their friendliness in a lot of ways, and their ability to like really see the bigger picture when it comes to other people and like what's actually going to work out and like how to give. I feel like there's a lot of like really reflecting on the give and take in relationships, and where, like I said, they might be like kind of cheating people out, and that's that third party situation that I was kind of getting earlier, you know. The idea of cheating or a third party all kind of leads to that distraction energy, or like I said, like some kind of like omittance of a part of your energy to another person for some reason. So there's something here where I feel like this person was realizing what they're leaving out, basically, is a good way to put that. So let me pull some messages here to see what kind of their opinions are right now on how you have impacted them. Just a couple. I'll get one more. Whoa. Said one more. Come on. do this one. Okay. So we have completely moved on despite anything. That's anxiety, not intuition. They are emotionally invested and then can't express it. Okay, this is funny. So the completely moved on despite anything, I think that is the lie that they tell themselves. You know, I think that's the pattern that they get into. It's a protective sort of thing, so they can feel like they have it all. But like I said, like when they move on, there's a certain point that they've hit where they're like, is this like really what I want? Like I haven't really gotten the satisfaction yet. I'm not there yet. Like it's something there like is unfulfilled in them. There's a void and they're recognizing it now. It's funny because we have that's anxiety, not intuition. It's that 10 of swords and the 7 of swords here, where it's like the way that they're saying that they're moved on or that they're chill or everything's good, like despite everything, it's not. That's their anxiety trying to like get help from their ego, basically. You know, it's like they're not facing what is really going on emotionally, and that's taking them out in a way. It's making them want to like kind of fight in certain ways, but I feel like because they can't express these sorts of feelings that they have, that they are emotionally invested in you, I feel like they might be fighting this in kind of like a counterproductive way, if I'd say the least, because we have the 3 of Cups here with the 7 of Wands. And one more card for that. Yeah, the Page of Wands. Exactly. I feel like they're still acting pretty immature with their actions right now, despite how you have impacted them. But at the very least, you've woken them up to the fact that they have a lot more specifics, I think, that they need to narrow down before that they can really feel satisfied, honestly, because there's some kind of emotional awakening that happened with some kind of jealousy or something like that. It came from within, though, deep within, that brought them some type of, I don't know, epiphany about how they were kind of going about emotional things. So that being said, though, group 1, you definitely rock this person's boat a little bit. If you would like to book a personal reading about the topic, you can go to my snip feed and do that, or you can DM me on Instagram. Otherwise, I hope you liked this video. Make sure that you give this video a big thumbs up, and of course subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. But otherwise, I'm gonna skedaddle, and I'll see you guys in a later reading. Peace. Hey group 2, let's get started with your tarot pick a card reading today, all about how have you impacted them. So this can be any relationship, whatever kind of comes through the strongest is what I'm going to read, though, this specific situation. As always, though, we start with an oracle card to kind of sum it up, and we have Snake. Be sensitive to your healing abilities towards yourself or others. Oh boy, this is already going to be a good one. All right, so our tarot cards to get us started, we have the 7 of Wands. I got the vibe already. Okay. The 5 of Cups. This is so funny. What the heck? Okay. The 7 of Cups. Did I say? I thought I said 7 of Cups for this. I don't know. No, I said 7 of Wands for that. Okay. And then the 6 of Swords. Wow. Okay. This message is like screaming at me right now. So with Snake, I just think it's funny because I don't know, all the other energies kind of go with it. So in general, I just want to say you impacted this person in a sense of like envy. Like when you see something that you are, you know, in your deep part of your soul recognize as something that you should have or you should take part in, an energy that you should, you know, it makes you feel like awakened, basically. This is giving me Kundalini energy. That's a very, like I said, soul and body centered kind of energy. It's at like the base of your spine is where your Kundalini starts and then it rises, whatever. So that's a whole thing. But this is really interesting though, because this process is something that's not like a soft process to go through. It's something that's actually a lot harsher, because this is talking about a very like Martian kind of energy, Mars. Pluto, that sort of thing, where it brings up some really strong emotions. It brings up your kind of fight or flight instincts in a lot of ways too. Maybe not like it maybe not always is triggering, but there's something there, I feel like, where you are, or you have impacted this person to be very much like hyper activated, like the hyper vigilant. There's something here where it's like a lot more visceral, is what I want to say. And this could be a lot of things. I feel like there's this awareness though that's really come out. We see these two cards here with this sort of like ring around the head, and the Seven of Wands is a very like inward sort of card. It's funny though, because like the depiction of the card naturally is like a bunch of people kind of coming at this one guy, but in this, it's a lot more serene, as you see with the flowers around it. So it's something here about like, and that's the thing about beauty, or something that we have this kind of envious feeling towards. And it doesn't necessarily need to be malicious, but it does raise that sort of awareness in your body that can be uncomfortable to deal with. But like the more that you deal with it in an understanding sort of way, which like the Five of Cups here is giving me, that there is this sort of epiphany of like, I don't have maybe what I exactly want, but I'm getting these ideas and stuff like that, that I can start to really get the ball rolling. Because that's what the Seven of Cups is all about. It's having options and kind of finding a new sort of way to look at things. And that comes through like this emotional pull though, of like, oh, I could do this, or I could have that. There's inspiration here basically. So that's very interesting though, because I feel like you impacted this person to have more of a wider scope of like what it is that they want. I feel like you made this person feel sort of like they wanted to like not possess you in like a bad way, but like they wanted to feel like they could, I don't know, like have you as their own. Like there's something here like with this snake, like look at it's like wrapping itself around this beautiful flower. So there's something here about this person that didn't realize maybe how much they wanted to have a hold on you, or they wanted to have what you have in some sort of way. And like I said, this kind of sounds in a way malicious, but I think that's just how like humans in society kind of have learned to interpret this behavior. But that's not always the case. Like this could be a really good, nice person that like truly just recognized for the first time like what it specifically means for them to like want something. And it, that seems simple and silly, but like it's not something that everybody knows and understands. A lot of people weren't able to pick, like some people learned like you get what you get and you don't throw a fit. So I think this is this person realizing that through grief maybe, or through realizing that they can't have you, or they can't have what you have, or something like that. It's making them open up to what is available to them, and what kind of changes that they could do for themselves to get through maybe this gap. Because we see with the Five of Cups and the Seven of Cups, the in between would be the Six of Cups, and that is kind of like a bonding soulmate kind of connection. So maybe this person is realizing that it's not so much about what's going on in the outside, because the outside leaves, it goes away from us. And that's kind of what I'm feeling with the snake here. They're kind of realizing that things can rebirth and change and whatnot. So like the way that they present is not always how it's going to be. And that's what I feel like you have impacted greatly in this person's life. Like they did not see things for this kind of depth, and they didn't see things for what they could do with that information basically. Because with the Six of Swords, this is taking information in strive, like you're using it, you're applying it. So I feel like you've helped this person realize where maybe they can shed some dead skin and make some new decisions. It kind of makes me think of like, I mean, I don't think this is a thing, but like if a snake sheds its skin, like if it got to pick like a new color skin or something like that. I don't think that's how that works, but it's like that's kind of the vibe that I'm getting from this person, where they're starting to realize like, okay, like maybe I'm gonna do this a little bit differently this next time. because yeah, maybe they're just seeing that the way that they've tried to get what they wanted didn't work before, like how they were doing it. Yeah, as soon as I said that, we have the 10 of Wands coming out. So the 10 of Wands is that card of doing the thing over and over again, like beating the dead horse essentially. Or, you know, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. I feel like this person, you've impacted them in realizing that like they were just continuing a cycle. They were not really putting themselves out there in a way that was very much like, I don't know, like testing themselves. Like I feel like, because like I said, this is envy. So like when envy comes up in a person, sometimes it's because they haven't gone there yet, you know. It's because you're in comfort and you don't, you know, want to put yourself out there just yet. So you sit in this feeling of like, well, I could never do that. Or like, you know, sometimes people will look at people with this disgust or this repulsion or just not being pleased essentially. And I feel like that was this person for a long time. They just kind of sat and stewed in that energy and really like it was contempt in a way, and that wasn't helping them figure out what the actual deal was here. Yeah. So we have the Empress and the 8 of Wands here. So I feel like they didn't realize that what they wanted was someone that wanted to, like, I don't know, possess them in the same way that they wanted to possess whatever it was. Like they needed some kind of, they need like a relationship or a situation or whatever, like a connection, I should say, that brings this sort of like relief to something. I don't know. There's something here where I think this person never felt super valued, or something like that in recent relationships. And like, then all of this has brought them to a space of like, you know what, I'm worth being valued. And there's tons of people that would go after me or something like, I don't know, like they're getting an idea about their worth though. They're getting the idea that they can have what they see you having. It's just interesting to me though, how that kind of came about for them, because it feels like there was a lot of stressors that pushed them into this situation. Yeah, we have the 2 of Pentacles and the 6 of Swords. So that's funny because maybe you impacted them because you were really like on the fence about this situation or what you wanted on it. And I feel like this person like kind of went with you on that. I feel like with it saying like be sensitive to your healing abilities towards yourself and others, I feel like maybe that's what brought you guys together in the first place. Like this almost gives me like a rebound energy, or like people that were like maybe right person, wrong time or something like that, because the healing energy of this is really, like I said, activating a kundalini, like activating this sort of desire in you to connect deeply with the world around you and with other people. And I think this is something that really took this person by storm, because they weren't necessarily like feeling positive about how relationships and things were going. Like I think they thought that situations that maybe they were in with you, like when they were in them in the past, it was a bad thing. So there was something about the way that you handle this situation that they were like, you know what, I actually see the light side of this. I see kind of like the silver lining. There we go. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, so we have the Knight of Cups here too. So that being paired with the 6 of Swords, I think, again, this is them being able to go after what they want on an emotional level and not be afraid of it. Honestly, like there's something here that you've taught this person about like their regenerative abilities. Maybe, you know, like I said, like if they never felt like effective in connections or something like that, this is somebody who began to feel what did I just say? I don't know. This is someone who began to feel like they were like making an impact in the relationship and in relationships in general. Like they started to see how they were almost burdened in the past by like the different I don't know, by certain things. Like you really just changed their brain on things, because certain things that they were like really afraid of and like really didn't feel comfortable in, like I think you almost put this person into those positions in maybe ways that they were at first like, oh my God, I don't want to deal with this. But then they were able to find some sort of relief from the situation, maybe through, you know, making their own decision in confusing situations. I feel like this person was really like nervous about like taking control of things and like being the one to kind of steer the ship, because they like were afraid of like, well, what could I lose, sort of thing. But now they're like knowing their worth. And that's what's really nice, I think, for this person, is this has been a whole transformation of like really wanting something or wanting an energy and not having access to it, versus like finally realizing that we all can kind of have whatever we want if we put ourselves in that position. You know, this person was afraid to put themselves in that position of vulnerability, for the fear of loss, but then they kind of realized this sense of loss is kind of an illusion, because you're always just moving on to something else. There's always something else on the other side, basically. You know, you're never really kind of led into nothing, is how this person feels about grief and sadness and loss now. So they're not necessarily like super sad anymore about situations. Okay, so I just ran out of storage and didn't even realize it, and kept continuing the reading on just till now when I realized it. So that being said, I did pull some extra notes here on how they feel that you have impacted them. So let me try to dive back into this. I just threw myself all the way off. So we have not fully invested, doubts, fully intend to make it happen, not worth the time and effort, and getting to know each other. So you have really made this person realize that they have choices, basically, as it relates to how long, you know, they take to get to know a situation. I think a lot of this is like this person, like I was saying earlier, like did not realize how much they could really make a situation their own. I feel like this person had some struggles when it came to superficiality in relationships. I feel like the getting to know each other phase was either like they were almost the kind of person where they thought black and white, where they were like, it either works or it's not working. Like they're either interested or they have everybody, that all this attention, and I don't know, it's like black or white. Like there's something here where this person really was not able to like feel like they could make anything happen. But we have fully intend to make it happen, but then we have not fully invested, doubts. I think this person for a really long time was trying, like fully intended to make things happen for things that like maybe, you know, where there was obvious doubts, like maybe in their own energy they had doubts about it, but they just like ignored their intuition about situations because they wanted to avoid the heartbreak and pain. But like, you know, if you ignore red flags long enough, they eventually like get redder, basically. So I feel like that's kind of what has always made this person move on from situations, was they finally got to the point where they were like, it's not worth the time and energy, like this person's always going to be the same. But like that could have been years later that this person like took that time to realize things. But with you, I feel like maybe you guys had some pretty like clear, honest communication that helped this person realize that if they wanted to move forward in a positive way with, you know, a situation that they realize they don't want to put time and effort into anymore, like they can do that. And you know, this Two of Pentacles is very much this up and down of deciding if something is worth your time and effort. As you see with the waves in the background, like this can be a very emotional sort of situation, because the illusion of, you know, when things are going good and you're like feeling fully invested is, or maybe when you're seeing full investment from another person or something like that, you could be like very excited about it. It's all exciting, great, woohoo, yay. But then when you're on the lull, it's like, oh no, feeling bad, feeling like you are not worth it. You know, there's something here about the way the momentum moves that makes this person feel either on top of the world, or like they just are getting taken advantage of in a way. And I think this is something this person needed to realize. I feel like you impacted them in a sense of like, they can't be fooled anymore. Like they understand the process of getting to know people is going to be a little bit flimsy. It's going to be a little bit of like give and take, and maybe some feelings of like, wow, like I want that and I can't have it, or like I'm not gonna give that because of X, Y, and Z. Like there's something here about like some kind of like coming to terms with the fact that like things are not always going to be smooth and easy when you're first guy like getting to know somebody. But it's not that doesn't mean it's not worth the effort. And it doesn't mean that you shouldn't like listen to yourself, but I should say it also doesn't mean that you shouldn't listen to yourself when you feel like you're not fully committed to the situation anymore because of your doubts. Like there's something here that this person was like, they listened to their doubts too much and it made them operate in a way that was carrying way too much weight. Like if this person felt like something was like out of their reach, like they were just like hyper fixated on it and like wouldn't let it go, because they didn't understand that on the other side there is something available to you always, like I said. So I think this person, you know, you've mainly impacted them in the sense of their self-worth and knowing what, you know, is worth their time and energy. And not only that, but like they feel a lot better about getting through hard situations because they feel that healing rebirth energy that can occur from this kind of situation, you know, because like I said, I feel like you guys kind of left each other in a good position where it was like, you know what, I can't deal with how this is going, the momentum is kind of driving me crazy, whatever it was just kind of like, this is not the vibe. And that kind of honesty though is like what leads people in the right direction, you know. I think the getting to know each other period can only last so long before you just got to get real with each other, and that's kind of what it felt like happened here, you know. So that being said, group 2, if you want to get a personal reading on this, you can DM me on Instagram or you can go to my snip feed, which is linked down below. But otherwise, thank you so much for watching this reading, and you can give this video a thumbs up if you liked it and it resonated for you, and of course subscribe to my channel for intuitively channeled messages like this. But yep, I'm gonna skedaddle and I will see you guys in a later reading. Peace. Hey group 3, let's get started with your tarot pick a card reading today, all about how have you impacted the person on your mind. So as always, we have our little oracle card to get us started, which is Heart. Believe in your heart that you are meant to live a life full of passion, purpose, magic, and miracles. Oh, I love this card. Okay. And then your tarot cards are the High Priestess, the Six of Pentacles, the Magician, ooh, and the Three of Cups. Wow. Okay. So you have a very fun-loving energy about you to this person right off the bat, which is funny because I feel like you are not the type of person that I think this person thinks gives their heart to everyone. You know, like there's something special about your heart. And I feel like, you know, you're the kind of person where your heart is on fire for the right things. And not everyone's like that. You know what I mean? Like there's some people that they're just not like that, is what I want to say. My vibe is a lot more calm in this reading. Like I feel a lot more at peace. I feel like you've impacted this person's heart with that sense of peace, that sense of stillness, where they can just be silent and calm, but happy, you know. Like there's something here that is legit. It's content. It's like sitting in comfort, pleasure, passion, all of that. There's something here too that is like, it's decided. The Six of Pentacles. I feel like you've impacted. It's funny because this almost gives me Hierophant energy, like just the Pope kind of little head thing he's got going on. I think you've really impacted this person feeling like things are flowing, basically. Because I think that this person's heart was really just like all over the place. Like they didn't really like necessarily feel super tied to anything, which is funny because maybe they did have commitments or something in the past, but there's something here where they just don't feel the same, like in their heart, because of you. Like you've impacted them feeling like they have a purpose, basically. And maybe a big part of this purpose is just like having fun. Like they're just like, oh my God, like this is something like I can do every now and then. It's like finding a new hobby or a project and you're like, oh, okay, like I'm gonna pick this up in my spare time. It's like something you're thinking about when you're at work, because you're like, man, I can't wait to go home and like work on crafting this thing or something like that. This is how this person feels about you though. They're like, can't wait to like go and work on my heart with this person. That's so cute. What? Okay, Queen of Pentacles. Yeah, they can't get you off their mind, honestly. Like, I feel like this person, they're in awe of you. I feel like you've impacted them in a sense of like, they've never seen anybody like you. They've never seen somebody kind of operate in the way that you do. It's like you're raw and real, but you're not overexposing. You're not like too much. Even though I feel like you've been told that you're too much. Five of Cups. Yeah, I feel like there's certain things. This is like a new face to an old problem. Like that's what I want to say. I feel like you were somebody that maybe this person could have been afraid of in the past. That there's somebody that they were like, this person could hurt me. This person will hurt me. I feel like this person felt a lot more like committed though to like facing what this would bring up. Whoa, this guy flew out. Yeah, the five of Wands. It's my energy is so weird for this pile, guys. I just gotta point that out. I feel like I'm just vibing, like just having a good time with the pace of things, which is so funny because that's not these energies. This is a card of grief. Feeling really like let down from a situation, from a relationship. But like I said, this is this person's past. It feels like you've impacted how this person feels about their past, maybe because they're seeing their choices for what they are. You know, maybe this person kind of gave a little bit and got a little bit back, and they were really upset about that. But you check them. It's like you said, well, no, I mean, you gave what you put out, or you got what you put out to the universe, is what I want to say, which could cause a lot of conflict for this person. Maybe the conflict that's showing out in this person's life is like, they're starting to realize like, oh shit, I stirred this pot. That's funny. Okay. Four of Cups. You know, this person's heart is something that has needed work. And I think they didn't necessarily like realize it until they met someone with a heart like yours. You know, like there's something about you that I think is very much, you're special. Like you've been through things. You're very much intentional about how you use your heart. You're cautious with your heart. You're cautious with your love. You don't just let anybody in, and you don't just share everything with anybody too. Like you have some sort of precision with the way that you operate. And I feel like at times maybe you do withdraw from this person, but the way that you do it is vulnerable. Like you're showing yourself and you're showing your heart. You're leading with your heart. And I think this has impacted this person because they didn't realize that you could do something so vulnerable, so heart-led, with such grace and with such like optimism almost. Like it's not optimism necessarily, but it's like a trust in like the low. I think there's something here about you that's very much like heart-centered, always kind of able to create your own sunshine in a lot of situations, even if things are not working out for you. Let's clarify this Five of Wands here really quick. Ace of Pentacles. I saw this earlier too. Like I said, this is the part of you that is able to have good intentions. So maybe, I don't know, maybe this person has dealt with some crazy conflict, or maybe you've dealt with a lot of crazy conflict, but you have good intentions with how you handle things. You actually make the best out of situations, even if you have been dealt shitty cards. And this person is like, wow, you didn't have to do that, you did it. They love that about you, I feel like. I say they love that about you. And we have Page of Pentacles and the Two of Cups. And then I also had Judgment fly out, okay? Actually, let's just put these like this. You know, I feel like this person was planning on like sitting out for a while. Like they just weren't ready with their heart. You know, they felt like they like couldn't offer you what you wanted, what you deserve. But there's something about you that they're realizing is like also intentional about like what you're offering. Like you don't have that much to offer right now either. Maybe you guys are both kind of in transition periods where you're still just kind of healing and you don't want to make things too serious, but there's something about you where it's like, I'm not going to miss this call to action because this person handles it well. Like that's how they're feeling about you. Like they're feeling impacted in a way where they're like, oh my God, like that's, you know, maybe this person has always acted in a way where, like I said, they were kind of like loosey-goosey with their heart. And they were well-intended, but I don't think that they were like necessarily cautious about how they like operated with other people. I think they, yeah, I was gonna say they could be kind of foolish. Not super level-headed, just kind of like, I don't know, taking a risk. They were okay with that and they could justify that and just say, okay, yeah, whatever happens. But there's something here where that didn't work. And that's led them into a lot of distress and heartbreak, maybe about a past relationship. But they're working on themselves and trying to work towards their future, like, you know, somebody that they can build a future with. And I feel like they're noticing that through this good time that you guys are able to have, even with like being in positions of distress, like the good intention behind that is really alluring to them. I feel like you've impacted them in the sense of like, wow, like this person has, like I said, like is radiating sunshine, even if they're in the darkest of their own night. You know what I mean? Like there's something here about you that is, it's tricky to this person. They don't understand necessarily how you're able to make things go in your favor when they are just so clearly not working out that way in the first place. Maybe this person has seen you at work in chaotic situations or something like that. Or seeing you dissatisfied with people. Like I feel like they see you being kind of like grumpy about the world around you, but then with them they're like, you seem happier. Like you're able to see things. I don't know, maybe you talk to this person a lot after having like a difficult conversation with other people. This also gives me a vibe of, like I said, somebody that you talk to about your work situation, and maybe you're in a really frustrating work situation, or things, maybe, you know, it's not even just a situation, like maybe it's just like all of a sudden things just have been kind of disheveled in your life, and you've impacted this person because they realize like you really do your thing, you know, like you handle all the wildness that comes your way like really effortlessly. And I think this person feels comforted by that because they feel like they can lead with their heart in a way that has purpose now. They've never really felt like that was a productive way to do things, probably because they were just taught otherwise. They were taught to kind of shove things down and to handle things with a certain kind of like lightness to them, or just kind of like an outside source or something like that. But this is a lot more about this person, like, yeah, being able to let go and lead with their heart. I mean, that's the biggest thing here with the Fool. I mean, his chest is wide open. He's ready to go. Yeah, he's ready to go. I love that though. They're able to work very intentionally though on their situations now, because they see someone like you that was very intentional about how they handled situations and not feeling embarrassed too. I feel like you're not someone that like gets super embarrassed in this person's eyes. Like I feel like you really rock your own wave, and even if it's not a pretty wave, like you still kill it in this person's eyes. Okay, let's see more of what they would say about how you have impacted them. We have, they will take action towards you. Not now. Not fully invested, doubts. And then we have, they run out of fear. Okay, so I feel like this is a very nice, like, impact of like realizing like kind of the middle ground of things and what things might look like while you are working on things. Because a lot of these, like with the not now and not fully invested doubts, I feel like they're just really worried about, you know, what they have to offer. Like I said, it feels like neither of you guys are in a position to really offer each other much, you know, other than maybe like a good time together and just like having fun and passions. Like, I don't know, I feel like you guys can also go kind of deep with each other, but it's in a sense of like recovery, you know, like it's not like you guys are both kind of in your healing energies, and I feel like you've made this person realize that they do at times run out of fear. But I don't know, like I said, the mix of like lightheartedness that you have, even with the heaviness, is very much like on this person's vibe. And I don't think they've found a lot of people on this vibe, and that's why they have been called into action to like spend more time with you. I think normally this person is like the kind to like party away their problems or like spend time with other people and things and stuff like that, like with their I don't know, when they have things going on, like they kind of just like avoid it. But to me, this makes me feel like they're kind of like doing both with you, where they're like having a good time with you and feeling relaxed, but then you're like just disarming enough that you're actually making this person feel really open to you and feeling really open to like share maybe what they are trying to work on. And, you know, being able to talk about it not from like a super vulnerable, exposed, kind of like raw position, because I feel like you guys are still like not in that place of offering each other like super like deep in the moment problems. Like I feel like you guys still kind of keep your own sanctions in that regard, but like if you guys are in that like getting over a hump sort of energy and you like see each other, like you guys connect really well with that and like kind of touch base with each other, that you're like, yeah, like, you know, things haven't been going great, but we're, you know, there's like a self-awareness here basically that you guys both grant each other that like keeps things light and keeps things moving in a pretty cool direction. So yeah, I don't know, I feel like you've really, like I said, impacted this person's heart where they feel kind of a lightness in regards to things that once were really kind of heavy, which honestly this message is a little bit of the same thing as another pile. So if you felt called to another pile, I would watch that as well. But otherwise, I am good to go here. I think that was your message. So if you want to dive deeper with a personal reading, you can DM me on Instagram or just book a reading on my snip feed, of course. Otherwise, make sure you like this video if it resonated, and of course subscribe to my channel for more intuitively channeled messages like this. Otherwise, I will see you guys in a later video. Peace.